Wisdom. It's an incredibly valuable asset. Some would say more precious than gold. It's attractive, appealing, admirable. Conversely, a lack of wisdom is the basis of immaturity, blind spots, and bad decisions. Wisdom. It can be gained over time, but it can't be rushed. But wisdom can be shared. That's precisely what we are here to do right now. Today, we are here to hack wisdom, to distill it, to understand it, and to process it. Why? To get better at life. Welcome to The Main Thing. This is your new 9-minute podcast. I'm your host, Skip Linneberg, and I've set out to interview the wisest people I know. We'll see what we can learn from each one when they're faced with an incredibly difficult, soul-piercing question. Welcome back to The Main Thing podcast. I'm your host, Skip Linneberg, here to bring you another 9-minute dose of wisdom. A special warm welcome to my subscribers, and a heartfelt thank you to my patrons, those of you who provide funds to keep the wisdom flowing. You are simply awesome. My special guest today is so dynamic. When I think of this person, I can't help but think of the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going. Jim Strawn is a charismatic leader, doing his part to make America and his home state of West Virginia better. A better place to live, work, learn, and play. In pursuit of this, Jim Strawn wears many hats: author, TV show host, emcee, marketing and PR strategist, fundraiser, radio personality, basketball public address announcer, and university professor. Yes, that's a lot, and I can vouch for all of it. Jim is also the energetic owner and president of Jim Strawn Co. He and his wife Lisa reside in Charleston, West Virginia. Buckle up. You are in for a whirlwind of wisdom from this energetic and wise guest. Jim, welcome to The Main Thing podcast. It's so good to finally have you on the show.
It's great to be here, Skip. I appreciate the opportunity, brother.
Now, Jim, you are a track and field athlete. You've competed in the Masters track and field competition events. Have to ask you, what's your best sprint event and what's your time goal this year?
I always thought I was a 100-meter guy, Skip, but come to find out last July of 2021 in the West Virginia Senior Games, I got third in the 100 and was a little disappointed. Later on in the afternoon, I ran the 50-meter dash. I've never run the 50-meter dash, but it's an event in the West Virginia Senior Games. So I competed against the same guys that got me in the 100, and I got them in the 50. So
nice.
Evidently, the 50-meter dash is my race, and I'm going to represent West Virginia at the National Track and Field Meet in Lauderdale in May of 2022.
Awesome. I admire your energy level, Jim, not just on track and field, but everywhere in our community, in the business world, in the community service realm. You're a person that gets things done and makes things happen. Could you tell us a little bit about where that comes from and if you've always been high energy?
I feel like I'm the Johnny Appleseed of positivity. I'm always planting the seeds of positivity. I've been blessed with good energy. I have good genes. I think it roots to my attitude is everything, and we're going to talk more about that with The Main Thing. But I take good care of myself.
Yep.
I drink a lot of water. I have stretched every day since I was 13 years old. I'm a pseudo-athlete, so it doesn't matter how old you are, you continue to compete. And I just think the outlook on life, if you have a positive outlook on life, it just energizes your life.
Do you ever have a down day, a day where you just can't go?
I'm a human being. The answer is yes.
Okay.
But it doesn't last very long because of my strength in the firm belief that positivity will take you everywhere that you need to go to be a success in life. And again, we're going to talk more about that with our main thing in a moment. So the answer is yes, but I don't stay down long. People think, gosh, Jimmy, if I had your life, I would always be up as well. They don't see that you have down. They don't see that on this journey, you're not always on top of your domain looking over. Sometimes you're down. You're like a slug under a rug.
Right. How do you recharge, rest, relax? What are some of those inputs that allow you to have such strong and energetic outputs?
Well, I have a little morning meditation. I don't miss it. every morning. I just pray for courage and strength and wisdom. And I pray for him to place his hand in my hand or on my shoulder and walk with me and talk with me and allow me to do the things that he wants done, not by me, but just through me. I just want to be a connector. I just want to be a disciple, if you will. I just want to be the conduit for good. You mentioned in my opening that I just want my community, my America, my state, my Kanawha Valley, my city of Charleston to be a better place to live, learn, work, and to play.
Yes.
And I'm just part of the solution.
Keep on going, Jim. Thanks for what you do along all those lines, and please just keep going. Jim, let's help our guests understand how you and I know one another. Let me run the first leg of this race, and then I'll pass the baton to you, and you can carry it across the finish line.
Gotcha.
I think leaders attract leaders, and I've been cheering for you in the background and hopefully encouraging you because you do the same for me.
Well, that's sweet of you to say, and I appreciate that. And, I'm inspired by so many people that have come before me, people that I know. Skip, we're the sum of the 5 to 10 people we hang out with the most.
That's the truth.
And so I try to hang out with people like you because I want to be like us. I want us to lift each other up. I'm a lifter-upper.
And our mutual friend, Jeff Gerald, who we talked about off mic before we opened, is another tremendous encourager, someone that we both admire, we trust, and we get encouraged by being around him and his friendship.
You said it. He's impacted my life. I trust him. I love him. I will do anything I can for him. He lifts me up. I lift him up. You lift me up. I lift you up.
Let's be honest. It's not easy to ask for help or talk about money. Hey, it's Skip here, and many listeners like you continue to ask me, what do you need to continue to develop and build this show? Well, for context, it takes our team about 15 hours of work to produce each one of these packages of wisdom that we deliver to you in podcast form. Really, what we need is funding to cover our costs. So in response, I formed a site on the Patreon platform where you can elect to become a supporting patron of the Main Thing podcast. Now, there are 3 levels you might consider, ranging from $6 to $27 per month. It's all safe and secure, and you can explore the options at patreon.com/themainthingpodcast. Now, how will we use the funding? Funds provided by you and other patrons will be used to defray the costs of production, promotion, and our recurring technology expenses each month. In short, you will be helping to keep this pipeline of wisdom flowing. Thanks. Well, Jim, it's a short format show, so I'll ask you the question that I ask each and every wise guest. Jim Strawn, what's the main thing you've learned in your lifetime so far?
Skip, the main thing that I have learned in my 22,431 days on this planet is that emotional intelligence is just as, if not more important, than your IQ.
Wow. Emotional intelligence, one's EQ, is just as, if not more important than one's IQ.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I understand that.
Yeah, break that down for us.
I understand that academics, education, your intelligence will take you a long way in this life.
Well, you're a professor, so you're a teacher.
But over my 22,431 days, as I keep track of my days on this planet, the one thing that I've seen and I realize is that there really are just 2 things that you want in this life. You want to be happy and you want to be healthy. And I contend that they go hand in glove. Emotional intelligence, there's 3 key features of emotional intelligence. How well you adapt.
Okay.
How flexible you are. How do you adapt to the day, the week, the month, the quarter, the year? How flexible are you? Are you not stuck? You can think outside the box. You come to a fork in the road, and as Yogi Berra said, just take it.
Right.
You want to go with the flow, but then the flow doesn't go your way sometimes.
Yeah.
How do you adapt? The other key feature of emotional intelligence is how well you manage your stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety, people think that's a bad thing. I'm here to tell you, I think stress is a very good thing. I think anxiety is a good thing. It helps you meet and focus the details and obligations and focus on the task at hand. I teach Intro to Public Speaking at the local university. I want my students to be nervous.
Yes.
If they're not nervous, we have a problem.
Yes.
I want you to be nervous. I just don't want it to debilitate you. I want you to take that nerve. I want you to channel it in a positive direction so that you can meet your task at need and you can focus. I'm anxious all the time. People have no idea how anxious I am.
Okay.
But
yeah, we don't.
I channel it to a positive. So all you see is positivity coming out of me.
Right.
I disguise that as anxiety coming out as, boy, Jimmy's up today, isn't he? Because Jimmy's up every day, right?
Yeah.
And then the third key feature of emotional intelligence is the one that's really, I think, the most difficult one to practice, and it's really needed in our society right now, is empathy. We don't have enough empathy for other people. We don't have enough empathy for things that are going on with people's lives. So good leaders are very empathetic, they're adaptable, and they manage stress.
So I get it. Your main thing is powerful, first of all, and it's nuanced with 3 key ingredients. Jim, let's wrap up on something special, your book series, the Sad, Mad, Glad books. Listeners will put a link to the book website, his platform, in the show notes. So I encourage you to, after you've listened, go and explore. Jim, I want to ask you, what inspired you to write these books?
The Sad, Mad, Glad book series. What a journey that has been. The Anatomy of Your Attitude is the subtitle of those books. I co-author those with a dear friend of mine, Chuck Stump. We call it the Anatomy of Your Attitude because we use body idioms to convey our message about the importance and how to have a positive attitude to children of all ages. Yes, it's a children book, but there's lots of adult lessons in there. So we use body idioms that there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those. We use things like put your best foot forward, lend a helping hand, have a heart of gold, keep your chin up, keep your nose to the grindstone, bite your tongue, use some elbow grease, stay on your
there's
tone,
so many of
hit
them.
your knees at night, stomach tough times, play it by ear, use your head. I could go on and on.
Yeah.
So that is a shtick that we have, and kids love that. And so there's about 4 of the books out. They have a little Dr. Seuss rhyme to them. But Chuck and I came up with the idea at a golf course, in a golf tournament down at Grandview State Park down in Raleigh County in the spring of 2002. Hitting bad shots, we would encourage each other. Chuck, just keep your head up. I got your back. I got your back.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on the prize.
Right.
So we were talking in body idioms, unbeknownst to us, about the 3rd hole. After like the 8th body idiom, it was like a bolt of lightning struck us at the same time. We looked at each other in the eye and went, that might be a good book idea.
I love it.
We'll call it The Anatomy of Your Attitude.
Yeah.
So the rest of the day, golf was secondary. We took that little 4-inch pencil and started writing down
on your scorecard. Yeah.
We didn't keep score, Skip. We started writing down all these body idioms.
I love
and then we went to work.
Listeners, we have an opportunity for you to win a prize. This is one of those shows. The best story that's written in that exemplifies the power of emotional intelligence will win a set of 4. The
Sad, Mad, Glad books. Yeah. Absolutely, Skip. Happy to do that, brother.
Yeah. Listeners, all you need to do is send your story to info@themainthingpodcast.com. That's info@themainthingpodcast.com. That's our email address. By April 30th, we will pick the best story. I'll share it back with the audience, and that lucky contestant will win a set of 4 books.
I love it. I can't wait to congratulate the winner. They'll have a lifetime of wisdom right there and disguised as a children's book, Skip.
Oh, it's a great place to leave it. Jim Strawn, what a joy this has been. Long overdue. And thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your wisdom.
The pleasure was all mine. I've so enjoyed this. Thank you for the opportunity. Bless your heart.
Wow, 9 minutes is up. That goes by incredibly fast, doesn't it? Time flies when you're hacking wisdom. I hope you're left wanting more. Sync up with us again next time on The Main Thing for 9 more minutes of wisdom.